apparently, and community unity. I live here with my husband and my family of animals and amazing neighbors. We come together today as neighbors and friends, and we want to remain respectful, oh wow, that's uncomfortable, and inclusive. If there's people near you that behave in a way that you don't like, simply ignore them. Do not engage in anything unpleasant today. This is all about unity. We believe in community and inclusivity. To that end, we had a pastor speak to us, and they made some suggestions on things that we really need to focus on. If you haven't noticed, we live in an increasingly polarized world. More and more, people run to different corners to surround themselves with people that agree with them. Social media has only made this worse. We gather today to push against this dynamic. So many people have forgotten that when we disagree, we can listen and we can show respect to one another. United we stand. That's what Northwest Side Unite stands for. Inclusivity and communication. Thank you for being here to be part of this today, and ask Alderman Arena to listen to our concerns and come back to the table. We're going to give you a little bit of history with our co-founders, Richard Gangler and Victoria Aviles, and they'll tell you a little bit about why this project became so difficult and polarizing in our community. I turn it over to Richard now.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Richard Gangler. I'm a new resident. I moved into the neighborhood in January, so
Welcome.
thank you very much. Veteran.
Louder.
My wife and my two kids, about 150 yards that way, so this is close and personal to us. I have the unenviable job of telling you kind of the details of sort of what happened, so I'll give the abbreviated version. Long story short, this property was lot zoned M11. The property developer meant to build a storage facility here on Limited Heights. They got permits to go and do that approved and began their work for demolition. At that point, Alderman Arena reached out to the zoning board and asked them to downzone it to B11. Did not notify the property owner. The zoning committee decided to do that. That move blocked. That move blocked the building of the facility they originally planned on. LSC then turned around and started a lawsuit against the city. That lawsuit went on for approximately 6 months. It generated significant costs, hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal costs. That lawsuit was settled around the end of January with a deal between Alderman Arena, the head of the zoning committee, the planning committee, and LSC, whereby they agreed not to oppose upzoning this to B35, which allows for 12 stories in 186 units. So 12 stories high, this property could be in 186 units. Upzoning property like that makes it a lot more valuable. So the property becomes much more valuable. In essence, what's happening here is our rights as neighbors to have input in the zoning process is being bargained away in order to compensate for this lawsuit and pay off the developers that were wronged by downzoning it in the first place. This agreement was made before any of our input was heard. It was signed and made almost 2 weeks before our first community meeting, where we had one chance to put any input against this. Since that time, we've mobilized and we've been going out and canvassing everyone for signatures. We've gotten over 80% of the property owners within 250 feet to sign sworn affidavits against this zoning. We've got something like 70% of the people within 1,000 feet, and we've got over 5,000 signatures from the community that are against this zoning. Thank you all very much for all your work and effort. It's been a lot of work and a lot of effort, but as you know, we're making progress. It's been announced earlier this week that the the zoning application is going to be off the meeting this May 9th on Tuesday. So that the community can get together and try and have our voices heard. Let me turn it over to Vicki to talk a little more, but thank you all very much for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Is this better? Yes. You're going to bear with me because my voice is going. Too much partying, I guess. Okay, guys. I'm Vicki Aviles, Victoria Aviles, co-founder of Northwest Side Unite. I have lived in Jefferson Park since the day I was born. I love this neighborhood. And I will be here, hopefully, till the other end of the road. So I am here with all of you guys, family, friends, neighbors, to come together to ask our aldermen to just listen. Give us a chance to talk about this as a community. We are a lot of good people. We've been painted as racist, as exclusionary. We love everybody. We want everybody to have a place to live in a neighborhood as great as ours. But we also ask the alderman to honor his commitment to the Gladstone Park plan, which agreed to 4 stories or less. This is about zoning. This is about community input. This is about due process. Nothing else. 4 stories or less. 4 stories or less. 4 stories or less. 4 stories or less. So we gather today as a diverse crowd to say we want a voice in the development of our ward. We want to keep our landscape a lower scale for our low density, quiet, suburban in the city type neighborhood.
Yeah.
We want to work within the plan that we came up with as a community. Just because we disagree doesn't mean that we're racist. It doesn't mean that we're exclusionary. And I can see by who's here today that we are not. We are not! We are not! We are not! We are not! Thank you guys, everybody, for all of your support, all the way up till, including today. This is a real community effort. Northwest Side has united. Now I'm going to turn this over to somebody over here who wants to say just a couple of words.
Sí, Aviles. I've been involved in community activities for many years in Humboldt Park, West Town, and I have seen the problems of too many high buildings to put in poor people. And I think that's the worst mistake that we could make if we want an integrated community. If we want an integrated community, we have to have people live together.
Yes! Live together!
Not put them aside and then hopefully bring the things that they want to have. Because what happened in the history of Chicago is that we put buildings and then we abandon people.
Yes!
And then we don't do anything for them.
No!
We don't fix the buildings.
No.
We don't do anything. And I just want to have a community where we can live together and enjoy a peaceful relationship. So let's go, people.
All right!
Muchas gracias a todos. Una comunidad íntegra que respeta a todo el mundo. Muchas gracias.
Back to Trisha.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much. Just a couple things in closing. Before I take the header. This week was absolutely incredible. For those of you that don't know, May 9th has been delayed. They will not hear it. Our voices were heard, and we finally said to the aldermen, please, you cannot shove this through City Council without our input. You haven't heard our concerns. We've been invited to the table because you said loudly, we have not been heard. So May 9th is delayed. We're going to have a meeting in small groups with the alderman and hope that we can convince him that 4 stories or less, the Gladstone Park corridor plan has merit. We have concerns and a variety of things that have not been addressed. Not safe. And we're going to do that, and then it'll move forward in a couple weeks, and we'll keep you updated. We need to make sure you sign in. Has anybody seen the sign-in sheet? Great. So please make sure you sign in. Facebook is great. Social media is great. We have Northwest Side Unite on Facebook, so please follow us. We'll keep you updated there. And then if you have emails, we'll send you email blasts as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we were successful this week only because of your help, because of your donations, because of your time and your energy. The Northwest Side is strong, and we are united. Thank